Yeah. Dope boy on the flow. You know I still gotta go.
Okay.
I ain't never been a hoe. I used to eat hoes. I used to fall in love with hoes.
Oh.
I still love these hoes.
Facts.
I be ripping up shows. I gotta get a runny nose. About to do another dose. The rap race, they going close. Nigga on the microphone, no dope boy doing the most. I dip peanut butter in the toast. That was a snap.
Let's stop that. I dip peanut butter in the toast.
You've never done that? It's
you mean
totally a
toast
thing.
in peanut butter?
Yeah. But you never done that?
Well, first of all, you have to always be clear on what you're saying, because if you are not, it sounds the other way around.
But have you ever melted peanut butter in a cup and then dipped toast in it is what I'm asking you.
No. Never did that.
You're missing out.
I've had I've had toasted bread with peanut butter on it.
Now you got to dip it in a toast and then drink the remnants of what's left.
How you doing today, man?
Hey, man, that should tell you where my life is at.
Jesus
Side note,
Christ.
you see the new haircut alert.
So hold on, man. These alerts are ridiculous. Are you shooting more Fat Drake?
Hey, man, you're just going to have to wait and see. I tried to call you at 3 a.m. and let you listen to it. You don't want to answer your phone. What are you
I'm so
doing?
glad you brought that up. You, first of all, ladies and gentlemen who are watching, welcome to the Just Us League podcast.
Yes.
I am CT. And
I
this
am your
is
boy, Dope Boy. The double up on the boy.
The double up on the boy. I'm glad you remember.
Double up on the boy. You understand me?
You only need one. Anyway, okay. So you called. You actually text me. You text me. What was that? Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
2:53 a.m.
Okay. Now what do you?
You say you up? First of all, I need to set boundaries to our relationship. Don't you ever send me the you up text like we smashed.
Fast forward to 2 days from now, it's gonna be hey big head. Like nigga, this guy's got to stop.
Hey big head.
So I hit you with the you up. Now
you hit me with the you up.
Okay.
I literally respond 6 minutes later.
I waited for like 3. I didn't see no bubbles. I figured you were asleep.
I say, what's up? You don't respond. I call back to back twice. Because I say, you know what? He's hitting me up this late. Maybe he needs to get talked off a ledge. Maybe he wants to brains or whatever. You never know with Dope Boy. I call straight to voicemail both times. I say, oh, well, I guess whatever happened, I will find out tomorrow.
See, and that's the thing. So what had happened was I was on a pitch. So basically, you weren't there to listen. So I was talking to my homeboy Day One, and I was just pitching this whole story.
Is his name Day One?
His name is Day One, and he's one of my Day Ones. You see what I did there? So I'm sitting here talking. So I don't think I seen your call because I would have clicked over or I would have texted you back. But I talked to him for about 20 minutes. I flushed the idea out. He was like, yeah, man. Let's get it done. Then I get off the phone and then I'm like, I'm about ready to crash. And then I turn my phone into airplane mode, and then I didn't know till the next morning. And then when I talked to you, like, hey man, don't do it again.
Yeah. First, let me clear it up because I don't need people thinking I'm a jerk. I didn't say don't do it again like that. I said it don't do it again because when you have a friend that goes through things, you don't know what's on the other end of that phone.
Right.
So
and I need to be more cognizant of that. If I hit you at a late night, just be like, hey.
Like, I don't know what's up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It was one of those. It's been I don't want to say like a rough couple weeks, but I've just been dealing with just, life.
Before you get into that, you text like you are the baddest bitch in the club. Oh, my God. Like the fact that I called right back and it went to voicemail, I said, oh, this bitch got another nigga. She don't remember the guy that bought her 2 rum and cokes. She's with the baller.
My bad, man. I didn't mean it in this way.
Now, you had a rough week. What happened?
No, I just had a rough week, man. Just a bunch of stuff just going on. And then, like, I always know, like, with whatever I'm going through, whatever, like, and this is really a tough time for me because last year, this year, like, stuff just started going off the rails. And so I always be big about, like, dates and numbers. So I think because I'm coming up on the 1 year anniversary of that, I'm just kind of freaking out a little bit. So sometimes lately I've just been throwing myself into my work. So that's why I was hitting you up, hence the heart in my head, hence the Fat Drake parody I got coming next week. People are probably tired of it. Like,
listen,
it's getting old trying different jokes, but I'm going to keep doing it.
No, man. First of all, Cole, did you turn my mic down? I feel like something's different from our sound check.
Yeah, you're just clipping coming in here.
God damn it.
I had to bring you down a little bit.
I feel the difference.
No, I can hear you very, very well. You good.
Listen, I know. All right, so the Fat Drake, don't feel like it's too much because you found something that only you can do.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, you're an incredible lyricist.
Thank you, man.
And you're creative with the concept of how you're doing the videos. You've gone viral so many times. I think this, anytime you get a chance to go viral, it helps bring eyes to all your other stuff anyway.
See, and that's, I think, the thing that I'm scared about. I don't know that I keep doubting if I could do it on my own. Every time I did it before, I did it with help. You know what I'm saying? I did it with different platforms. So now I'm just like, do I got this? So that's why I literally was calling you at 3 a.m. to let you hear a Fat Drake parody that you probably would have been like, nigga, don't ever call my phone.
Let me tell you something, man.
It's late.
I'm never gonna tell you not to hit my phone, but I will tell you to pick up when I hit you back. Second thing.
No, but this is how. But let me let you know how my sensitivity runs.
Go ahead.
So this is how, like, in my head it gets warped and it goes left. So once you hit me that morning and I told you, I was like, oh man, my bad. I was like, I have been working on this Fat Drake parody, man. I was trying to hit you up to hear about it. Da 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 da. And then since you never asked me to send it to you, I figured that you just didn't like it. So I was like, sticking on everyone I hear. My parody, he think he all that.
He think he
That's how I was feeling. And
Why is all that?
Because I felt like, because I kind of like baited you out there, like, hey, man, I was working on this Fat Drake parody. I was just waiting for you to be like, what? Fat Drake? Send it to me.
Gonna give you that.
I
You know why?
Man.
It's to go back to the first episode of this podcast we did, where you were like, yeah, man, what do you think about my jacket? And I said, no, boy,
it to me.
I'm never gonna let you fish for a compliment. You gotta let me ask about it. I knew that I was going to see you, and then I'm like, oh man, well, hopefully now he'll just play it for me, as opposed to sending it through the phone, and whatever.
I'll be wanting that instant response, man.
I noticed.
I had to tell you about the heart in the head because I figured you wouldn't have said nothing about that. Notice the things.
Give me an opportunity. You know what I will bring up that you didn't bring up?
What's that?
You're drinking a regular Coke again.
Man,
no
it's
more
just,
Diet Coke.
man, listen, just.
This is actually better
It's better than the Diet Coke.
than the Diet Cokes.
It's just a whole mess, man. Oh, and before we go one step further, are y'all ready? Swole Cole, are you ready for this? New nickname alert. You ready for this?
Yep, I'm ready for it, though, boy. New nickname alert.
Dokeem Woodbine. Do you know?
Why do they call you Dokeem Woodbine, though,
Because
boy?
you might not know where you know me from, but nigga, you know me.
Now, listen.
Because Dokeem Woodbine is, he has 101 movie credits.
I don't doubt it.
This nigga is in everything.
And
So
if Dave Chappelle could have acted at that time, he'd only have 20. That is his evil brother.
But that's
bro.
what I'm saying. You know who the nigga is, but
yeah.
you know who he is. You
Yeah.
just might not know where you know him from.
I love Dokeem Woodbine, man. He's such an amazing actor. Do you watch Fargo?
No.
Yo, he's in Fargo.
What is that show about? I need something to sink my teeth into.
Fargo is a show that you'll never know if it's based on a true story or if they just say it's based on a true story. All of these incredible events happen around Fargo. What's the name of the state? North Dakota.
Okay.
So Fargo, North Dakota, and the surrounding areas, like a St. Louis.
Oh, Fargo is actually like a place?
Yes, it's a real
okay.
city. So, well, don't quote me on that. Anyway, so
Like,
I don't want to get into this. So it's like all of these stories. Did you ever see the movie Fargo in the 90s?
No. I never knew
No,
Fargo
boy.
was a thing that people were making films and TV shows about.
You
I thought it
would
was
hate
like
it.
the second half of a bank.
You would hate it because it's actually a good show. Keep
Wait,
going.
I think I'm all about the good shows.
No,
What do you
you're
mean?
not.
My taste is impeccable. Did you ever go back and watch them? You didn't go back? You didn't go back? Swole Cole, did you pick up on them? Did you take a flyer out on them? Bro, you need to start respecting. I need a new show
Do you
to
watch
be.
Invincible?
Huh?
On Amazon? Do you watch Invincible?
No, what's that about? Who's in that?
Okay. It's an animated series
Okay.
based on a Robert Kirkman who created Walking Dead.
Okay.
He did a comic book called Invincible, and it's this amazing story that if I even give you any details, it's spoiler. It's on Amazon Prime, just like them was, and it's
I think you need
incredible.
to give
It's an
that-
adult superhero show.
I'm currently in the 11th season of Shameless, which is the last season. I'm on episode 4.
Tangerine
And
just finished that.
You know what's amazing about that show? Watching all those characters for so long, like grow into these people that they turned into. So that's what I've been watching. But I need a new show to get myself into. How was your week? How was this past week for you?
Man, let me tell you something, man. This week has been very productive. I've been doing a lot of stuff to my Twitch stream. So I've been I used to stream just from my PlayStation 4, and then I got to 5, and I was streaming from there. Now I have my whole setup from my my laptop, which is a Mac.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to get a PC soon. But it's like all.
Why
of
do you have
stuff,
to get a PC?
Because it's just easier, and it's they have gaming PCs that are much easier to do streaming from.
Okay.
And shout out to my crew, man, Next Luthor, Gorilla Tap One, Gadget Girl. They literally helped me set my stream up, and now I just got a green screen, so I'm off to the races.
And you're doing like tournaments now, huh?
Yeah, I do a Mortal Kombat tournament. I was doing it every week. Now it's gonna be once a month.
Okay. Is it just for your Patreon people?
No. It's for the Twitch squad.
I might have to come in there and whoop everybody's ass because I'll be whooping ass and taking
No,
names.
boy, you don't.
Listen, I've been practicing. I haven't been telling
Really?
you on the
What
low.
you been practicing on?
Mortal Kombat.
Okay. Which one are you practicing on?
Huh?
Huh?
I haven't been practicing a
I
lie. It's
know
not
you
even a
haven't.
reason. I was like, what's the benefit of the lie? What's the benefit of the lie? So it was even no point of even
King
doing
card puller, guess.
it. But everything else in your week was pretty good. Other than that, everything is.
Yeah, man. I truly can never complain, bro. My mom's coming for my birthday. You know, my birthday is Mother's Day. So
What? Any plans?
I don't really have any plans. I just know my mom's gonna be here, so it's gonna be dope to have her. And we just probably gonna watch some movies, man, and just kick it. She gonna make me some chicken.
You gonna fly your mama out here to put her to work in the kitchen?
It's not work when it's your mama. She wants to do these things.
That's dope that you're at a point in your life where a fun time. Think about that. 20 years ago, a fun time probably would have been going out, doing something crazy. But you're just like, I want to eat home and just stay home and eat my mama's chicken and watch some movies.
You know what's funny? It's like when I was when my mom would come out to visit a couple years ago, I was like, oh, I got to think of all of these activities for her and I to do. And then I had to start thinking about my mom and my relationship. Like since I was a kid, all we've ever done is go to the movies. You know, you do stuff that you do as a kid, like she'll take you to the park and all of that.
Right.
But like our bonding moments have been going to the movies or staying at the crib watching mysteries like
That's
a Murder
so
She Wrote or
dope.
whatever. So yeah, we cool, man. We kick it.
Shout out to Mama CT.
Yeah,
Hope
man.
you guys have a good time. I'm pretty sure we'll do something to celebrate your birthday. We got to show you some love on the podcast or something for this as well. So,
Hey man, you know, let's see if you pick up the phone. Don't
hey
worry.
man, just to ourselves. So I wanted to get what your take was on this story. Now on Love and
Shout out to the donation, Team CT all day. I read your comments.
What'd I say?
I always read the comments and they be showing me love. They
They do.
also love you a lot because obviously it's the donation. The funny thing about your comments,
Okay.
you don't be in them no more. No,
It's a dangerous place.
It is.
People say some mean,
They
terrible
do.
things.
But
And-
not only your comments, I swear to you, are literally 98.9% positive.
Right, but I look at that other 1.1% that's not great. I don't know why. It's just it's a terrible habit to have. It's like I'll go past a bunch of positive stuff and be like, what do you mean you don't like what I did 5 years ago?
Are you ready for this?
What's up?
Let me teach you the life hack.
Okay.
Right? So you go to any Team CT video on any of my pages where people are leaving comments, right? My comments are like 95% positive, and you get that 5% of negativity, somebody who wants attention, right?
Okay.
What I'll do is I'll give attention to everybody that gave love, and none of the attention goes to the negative.
And
people.
you don't delete them or nothing? You still leave them up there?
What that does is it shows you I'm training you how to treat me.
Oh.
You don't come over here disrespecting me. You don't know me. This is my page. We're about love and positive energy here.
Wow.
So if you see me interacting with the people who are showing love or say something cool and aren't dicks, now you're going to be like,
Just
oh, well, let me
jump in and just be cool, 'cause-
because I want to say something.
You know, there might be a lot of scientific knowledge behind that because what they're doing is they might be throwing that negativity out there to think that, oh, people are going to be like, oh, I said, and then you realize like, hey, man, nobody want to even talk about
Yeah.
the negative stuff. So,
Also, if you say something too crazy, nobody will ever see it.
yeah, they don't have the microphone.
Man, you can say, time to delete that. Nobody saw it.
So no, I have been out of the comments. I think I did for the last week or so. I've just been out of the comments because you know what? I don't want to say his name. I think it was Ryan Davis that said this. The comedian. I think you reposted it. I know Teddy had reposted it. He was basically talking about like people asking him for advice on how to get, into comedy. And then he was basically going into how difficult it is, being a comedian. How do you feel about that? Like, how do you, like, at this stage in your life, you've been doing this forever. You've been doing comedy all these years. How do you still wake up every morning with the motor of, I want to create something today to make people laugh? After all the time that you've done it, all the rejection that you had, all the different things that have come from it, how do you still find a way to get up like, I want to make something to make people laugh today? Because I feel like that's a gift that we have that maybe a lot of us don't even give ourselves credit for.
Well, let's go in order.
Okay.
From what Ryan said, let's address the people reaching out to him, asking him to be a mentor. First of all, shout out to Ryan Davis.
Shout out to Ryan
Love
Davis,
that guy.
for sure.
Always
solid
cool,
individual.
extremely creative. You know what's so funny? I also like being the change that I want to see. And what I mean by that is, we both do all of these different shows, or we'll be guests on somebody's podcast or interview, and I know you're like me. We'll show love to people, right? We'll be like, "Oh man, shout out to Ryan Davis, man. Shout out to BT Kingsley, Nate Jack, all of our friends."
Right.
And then you'll see an interview with somebody. I'm not saying their names, but you'll see an interview with somebody, and they won't show love to people in
Or they
return.
won't give credit to you when you gave them the information for the audition, like how I did. So yeah, we know. Yes. So
and I'm not talking about me.
no,
I'm talking
right,
about
just,
overall.
yeah, when you go and see that.
Yeah, people don't usually do that. So I
Right.
like being the change that I want to see. So shout out to Ryan Davis.
Facts.
And he shouts out so many different comedians that he's fans of.
Yes.
But I think the thing that goes into what he was talking about, a lot of people don't want advice. People want to have a conversation about advice.
Ooh.
Right? So I don't
Wow.
you are amazing.
Wait, that was deep.
It's
Most
the truth.
people don't want advice. They want a conversation.
About advice.
Ooh.
It's like you are an incredibly talented artist all the way around. Comedy, music, writing, acting, all of these things. You're going to get, if you haven't already gotten, a million DMs about people say, hey, man, I want to start a podcast or I want to start rapping.
Can I intern for you so I can learn to do? Yeah, right.
What should I do, right? And I've learned this because I've been doing this for years. It's like I'll literally be the person to give people A through Z what they should do, right? And then you follow up maybe like a month later and you be like, hey, man, did you do all that stuff that you asked me about that I told you to do?
What
Oh,
stuff?
man, it's been crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? My mom, you know,
Right.
she got 2 shifts now.
I mean, two.
You know,
Not one.
I don't know if you know Oreo came out with a new flavor. Like, you're like,
The
bro.
Halloween edition with the orange filling.
Yeah, it's like, but what is that? So you realize a lot of people don't want to do the thing that they're reaching out to you about. They either A, think that that's a way that you guys can start a rapport, and which is just like, hey fam, just be cool. I'm a cool cat. I don't know who else you've dealt with in the social media space that has maybe shunned you or made you feel ostracized or disrespected. I'm not that guy.
Right.
I'm not a weird dude. If you just be cool, I'm cool. You don't have to start a hey, how should I do this when
You
you
ain't got to
really
start a
don't want to do
conversation
it.
with a request. You could just say, hey,
Right.
man, I love your work, blah, blah, blah. A different
Yeah.
way, different approach.
And so it's like it goes back to the advice thing. Like people don't really want to do the thing that they think they want to do. It's like you hear people say, "Yeah, I want to get into acting."
Right.
Do you, or do you just want to be on TV? Do you just want to be famous? Because if
Right.
you do, I can respect that. But if you want to be an actor, first of all, before you even get to me, Google is right there.
Your best friend.
That's going to give you way more info than
Right.
I do. So I think a lot of people just want to say, hey, how should I make a sweatshirt? Oh, man, go get you some cotton. Yeah, man. Also, go get you some strings. Oh, strings.
It's strings. We got to have it for the
What color string should I? It's up to you. Okay, cool. And just to do that, and they be like, yeah, man, because I was thinking, man, because people at my job be telling me you should make hoodies, man.
Everybody says I should
They
make hoodies.
says
I
it,
guess I got a
man.
hoodie look.
So I got to.
People say that about comedians all the time. They
Yeah.
go, oh, you're a comedian? People tell me I should. Like, no.
When it's like, just do it.
Yeah,
bro.
exactly.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's like that conversation about advice is more what they want to have, unless you do run into the people that's like, yo, I really want to do this, and you're
Right.
like, cool, do this, and this. Bet, check back up with them. How you been doing? I've been actually. You don't even have to check up with them because they
You
tell
just start
you,
to- right.
I did
this.
everything that you said. This is how it's working out for me. So that's usually how it goes. But to answer your second part of the question, I stay creative and stay wanting to make people laugh because that's what got me into it. I got in because I was watching Martin and Jamie and Eddie and Monique and all of these amazingly talented comedians. And I was like, I want to affect whatever age I was at the time. It was 7 or 10 or 15, whatever. I want to influence that version of me to do this as well. So
Right.
it's like, that's my motivation.
Nah, and like when he was saying it, like it really like hit me in a different type of way because I was just like, yo, we really do as entertainers deal with an unnatural level of rejection. I was just like, dang, like here I am, 41. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've been doing this for a very long time.
About to be 42.
Huh?
About to be 42.
Exactly this year. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, as I was thinking about it, I was like, what makes me keep doing it, you know, time and time again? And I just like, I don't think that I would really find any pleasure in doing anything else, which sounds crazy to be like going up, like, you know what I'm saying? Me and Teddy was talking about this earlier. It was just like, you know, we were just talking about different opportunities and different things that we're doing these days, right? What?
I'll tell you. Keep going.
So we're talking about different opportunities and different things, right? And I'm just like, man, that's so crazy whatever happened, you know what I'm saying, what we're doing in our lives right now versus what we were doing a couple years ago. But
Yeah.
it's just like we've always kept going and just kept it moving toward, you know, forward progression, even though back in the day, like you could look back 10 years ago and we were
Yeah.
still trying to do things on a certain level and maybe it was still different or whatever, but still 10 years later, we're still here fighting to do it. And I'm just like, man, maybe there is something to this because I probably could have gave up a long time ago. And I didn't.
First of all, you could have never done anything but what you're doing right now. All the jobs that you've told me you've had over the years, I never believed that. I'm like, what?
It was a
You
customer
worked
service rep. Yeah, that was
because you're
security
so
guard.
your talent is, you always give me credit for being this talented, funny cat, but you, oh my God, I'm like, how did you work in customer service when all of this talent is inside? It's kind of like all of your jobs were origin stories to the superhero that you were going to become.
Wow.
You know
That
what I mean?
was deep.
Like, look at, like, when we talk about Fat Drake, man, what was the parody of Hotline Bling?
When
When that hotline
I like when that hot sign blings.
hot side because
It's
of the
time for
donuts.
some Krispy Kremes.
Yeah, listen.
It still makes me laugh when I think
To
about it.
do that the way you did that, and that's just one song that you had done, you make it look so easy that honestly you do videos and you make me feel like I could do it, and then I sit and I be like, I could never. Because the way you it's harder to make a funny song than it is to make a real song.
Absolutely.
Because you're coming up with these punchlines over and over and over, and you're creating the visuals to go with it, and then you're rapping seriously.
Yes, and you still have to stay in the cadence that the person that did the song did it.
That's hard compared to me just being serious and rapping a song. So it's like, man, I give you credit. But what, for you to answer your own question, what makes you continue to create?
That's the thing that I'm just starting to understand. I just think that it makes me normal. I think that it balances me out. I think, I suffered so much last year because I wasn't creating. And I'm like, when I get back to creating, I feel like music, I feel like creativity is my medicine in so many different ways, because if I'm always creating something or doing something, I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And if I'm not, I feel weird. I feel anxious. I start to be alone with my thoughts, and it's just, I don't know, it's just one of those things that just really throws me. But it was just, even you had just said something 2 seconds ago that just it put me in a different direction of what I was trying to say. So you were telling about, like, years ago, like when I tell you about all these jobs and that I used to work, and it literally because of that's what I believed I was supposed to do. And I guess that's, how did you get out of your own head? Because I don't know how many regular jobs you work, but I feel like this world is filled with people that work quote unquote regular jobs. And what I mean by that is just a job that is not what gives you ultimate pleasure in life. And so a lot of times I think, like, what made me do this? But I think it was just because I felt like life wasn't going to be fun if I didn't do it. It wasn't going to be worth living. Like, one of the metaphors I always give people about, like, my attitude about life is how I learned how to swim. How I learned how to swim, seriously. So it was a thing. I'm going to tell you. This is how I approached life. So I was around 10 years old in Sacramento. Back then, there wasn't daycare and all that stuff. My parents used to just take us.
Wait a minute, there wasn't daycare?
Well, not like that. Like, it wasn't like proper, kid care when your parents went to work. Like, I'm
Take them to Kim House.
Exactly. So
They
would take us to this spot called Magnum Pool in Sacramento. It was a pool. You pay 50 cents to get in, and you could just basically be there all day. Right? So while I was going, I wanted swimming lessons. My parents didn't have money for swimming lessons.
Were there any lifeguards?
There were lifeguards, so I'm going to tell you. Yes, there were. And that's what I'm telling you. You paid the 50 cents, and you in there all day. They would drop us off at 8. They would open at 9. We'd be there till 5. It was
This
a whole
is
thing.
not
It was
good
my whole
parenting
life.
at all.
But
No
it was
disrespect.
the 80s. It was the 80s. It was the whole thing.
I'm sorry, did murders and kidnappings not exist?
They just used to drop us off. They would be closed, and we'd be out there with our towel. They would give us $1. We'd have 50 cents, and then you'd have 50 cents for a snack, get a nacho later off the ice cream truck. It was a whole thing. So I was going
Hope
to
the ice cream truck ain't having a bad day. I ain't going today.
Sitting there with 50 cents and a hungry belly.
Them kids.
So I would get there, right? And so when I was there, so we didn't have swimming lessons, so I didn't know how to swim. So you knew it was the 3 feet, whatever, and then it was the deep end. The deep end water even looked better. It looked like better water. It was bluer. It looked colder.
There wasn't nobody over there.
Exactly. So, but there were people over there, but they were just having so much fun. And then everybody was over here on the shallow end, just putting their feet in the water, and they were just like not really enjoying the experience. And I felt like that's what life was to me. So I was just like, if I'm afraid of going into the deep end, I'll never know what this is like. So this is literally how I learned how to swim. I walked straight to the 10 feet on the pool. I looked at the lifeguard. They knew I couldn't swim. I was Fat Tony. That's who I was at this time. They looked at me, and my sister and them was over there sitting down on the thing, and everybody knew I couldn't swim. And I'm going to the deep end of the pool. I look at everybody, and they're looking at me. I jump in the pool. I almost drowned. He jumps in, has to pull me out. I subsequently did this every day for weeks. And they would let me stay a little bit longer. It got to the point where they were like, we're going to kick this kid out of the pool, whatever. But eventually, I learned how to swim. I learned to stop fighting the water when you were in there. I beat my fear, and that's how I've been in my life all the time. So that's the reason why I think I am the way that I am. That I could just be like, I got to jump out here and do it, because I feel like if I don't, what am I doing? I'm not going to enjoy my time in the pool.
Who start calling you Fat Tony?
Everybody. The lifeguards, the teachers.
The teachers?
It started with the adults. I'm just saying, trickle down to the kids.
Oh, that's so sad.
It was Fat Tony. Absolutely.
Let me back up. Real quick, the job question. I had several jobs before I started doing comedy, but I started comedy literally my senior year of high school.
Okay.
And,
you had several jobs before your senior year of high school?
My first job, I was 10 years old.
Black kids got to grow up way too. You was 10 years old,
Trying to earn a living.
Drinking a cup of Joe, looking at the morning paper like, God dang it, the Dow Jones. All right, get my lunch. I got to go. Get my thermos full of soup.
Put the cigarette out. My mom had two jobs, right? My mom had two jobs. Her second job was at a gas station being what do you call that? Like somebody who...
An attendant.
Yeah, attendant at the gas station.
Cashier.
So she got me a job. I had to get a work permit from my school. And my job was to refill all the windshield wiper fluid outside, stack the napkins out there. I also had to, of course, like sweep up. And I got paid $10 an hour. And I got all the day-old donuts I could eat.
What?
That was the greatest job
$10
ever.
an hour. Day-old donuts? I would have worked for that.
And my mom would get the donuts, right? And she would put them in the freezer. She's like, so you can have even more. And I was like, you are enabling me. This is not going to end well.
She helped you preserve donuts?
So
wait, how do you reheat a frozen donut?
What? How do you reheat one? The same thing you heat?
I've never reheated. I've never put a donut in the freezer.
I hope you don't have to. So I only work like maybe 3 hours a day, if that. Okay. So I only did that for maybe like a month, and then the owner was like, "He's too young to work it," and I was like, "I got a work permit." He's 10 years old. You know what I mean? That was that job, and then a host of other ones. But the last job was Payless. I worked at Payless.
Payless Shoe Source.
Yeah, before I went full time with comedy.
Okay.
I think I told you that story, but
I don't know that you did. Tell me again. You were selling. I just couldn't see you as a shoe salesman.
Well, first of all, I'm a great salesman.
I just went and buy shoes from you.
I was doing comedy. I was like 4 months in.
Okay.
And I was selling comedy tickets right around like the mall, like outside mall. And the woman who's the manager, her name was Rolanda. She's like, I don't want to, you know what? I might come to your show, but how much money you make out here? I'm like, I might make like $100 a day, you know what I'm saying? Selling, like 2 for $10. And she's like, okay, well, what if I could give you $9 an hour and it's guaranteed money? And, you work here. I was like, what would I do? She was like, you got a nice smile. Why don't you just welcome people into the store? And I was like, all right. So for the next 7 months, my job was to say, as women came in, I was like, hey, welcome to Payless.
You were just a
buy
greeter?
one, get one. Greeter.
You didn't have to put them on the shoes on the... You were just a greeter.
Greeter. I would help women find their sections, but it's only 3 aisles. Look around. That's what I'm saying. It's 3 aisles. Get over there. So y'all got some in the way. You got nothing in the back. All the shoes with you.
It's out in the front.
So I quit that job when I got my first comedy booking.
Right. You did tell me that story. Okay,
yeah.
Yes.
But my whole point is, none of my jobs lasted because I knew that these were temporary. I knew what I wanted to do with my life since I was 7. I knew that I was going to be on TV. I knew I would have a certain amount of popularity. I would be working with the people that I idolized. So every job, I never really took it serious because I was like, well, this is just
So temporary. It was like a holding pattern for you.
Yeah.
Till you got to that.
Yeah. But getting your parents and people to believe that you're going to be who you say you're going to be is the hardest part because my parents are very hardworking people, right?
Mine
so
too.
my mom had 2 jobs. My dad was always working. So to tell them, hey, I'm a be in California. I'm going to be on TV telling jokes.
Second, quack.
When I tell you every joke I told, they gave me with the side eye, like, oh, you going to move to Cali with that?
With that bullshit? You better tighten up, youngster.
Tighten
Mom.
up, go back to college. So I always knew it was going to work out, and you have to have that. And I think for you, circumstances, right when we had that conversation, that conversation was supposed to happen because you needed somebody who wasn't in your immediate circle to tell you that you can do this.
And that's the wild thing that I think, and I think that's why I even bring up conversations like this, because I feel like there's millions of people who are in that same thing, and I guess my biggest thing to tell them is just go, just figure it out, like just get over the fear, because I think there's a much bigger fear and not, you know what I'm saying, and not, shooting your shot at whatever it is.
I'm gonna say this right now, Cole. We going over tonight. If you got to charge me to do the shit, we going over.
Okay,
but keep going.
Okay, for so that just kind of threw my
no. But when you get inspired, You need people to inspire you.
Yes.
You have to run into, that's why you can't just stay in the house. Even if you stay in the house, reach out to somebody that you don't know, right? Don't reach out to me. I'm not saying, but I'm saying reach out to people that you don't know that you might be inspired by, because that'll change your life. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. And that's I'm telling you, that's like what I've really been on, man. It's just what I'm starting to realize about life in general is that it's just really about a management of time.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that's just the biggest thing. So just taking your time and just using it as a valuable resource, that's the type of time I'm on.
Yeah, man. I mean, look at you now.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
You are a dope boy. People know you. People love you.
Yes. And I'm out here.
That's what you said. When you said you were afraid to do the parodies because you'd always had, like, for lack of better words, you had a machine behind you.
Right.
And you were scared of doing your own. You're looking at somebody that created his own machine. You got to remember, all the time where you were over there killing it all deaf, y'all got Russell behind you.
Bro.
I had this kind of phone shooting my videos and a couple of people who were like, I believe in you. And they come. So the fact that you already have started your platform, they're gonna come.
Right. And I just keep telling myself that every day. And really what I'm trying to get into the motor of doing is just being able to throw up content all the time and not think about it. Like, I've been around some really great people that have just, like, you know, shown me by example of what they do. They were putting up content every day and they just was throwing it up so much to where you don't check and see what the views are, the comments, because you're like, I got to do another one tomorrow. So that's the zone I'm trying to get into. And I'm thinking I'm starting to feel like get that old, like that familiar feeling back. Like, I had put up the old Blame It on the Food parody. I was just like, no, you've been doing this your whole life. You just got to stick to it. Just stick with what you do and what makes you happy.
You did one of my first, let me tell you how Hollywood you were when you did this. You did one of my first, I had just hopped into Instagram doing sketches, right? And yes, people, we call them sketches. We don't call them skits because we're not 7. I just started doing sketches on IG. And I was like, hey, Dope Boy, come shoot this joint with me. Dope Boy, we did the battle in 2009.
Okay.
Which you created this amazing rap battle thing. I said, hey, man, I'm doing IG now. Why don't you come and we do like a new version of that same punch? You were like, all right, cool. When I tell you Dope Boy got to the set, as soon as he got to, hey, how long
I remember that exact day. It's so weird that you say that. I was drinking heavily back then.
You're lying.
I was so hung over that day. I remember, because I had only been to that sketch house once or twice, and the one time I went was with you. And just as you said that, I was just like, oh, I was so hammered the night before. I just wanted to get home and go get some sleep.
I had no idea.
I don't even remember us shooting that sketch. I've never even seen it. These are recovering alcoholic moments that happen. I don't even remember the sketch.
No way.
I can't even tell you how trash I was in it. But I remember, now that you say that, I remember it happening, but I don't remember the sketch or how bad I was in it.
Dope Boy, because here's the difference. If you ever get the opportunity to shoot with Dope Boy, Dope Boy is the most professional. He is the most caring and loving when it comes to your projects. But when you shoot with somebody else, you'd be like, I gotta get out of here. I was like, what?
Drinking shaky ass Doughboys like that. No, because now I think about that a couple of weeks ago I was rushing. But it was a Sunday. I normally wasn't working on Sunday.
So glad you brought that up. What did you say to me the other day? You said,
I ain't got it like that to be taken off Sundays.
Doughboy.
Like, nigga, you better work every day.
Let me tell you something.
Ain't no Sabbath and no rest when you try to get that paper.
Doughboy told me months ago, this is years ago, you were like, yeah, man, I don't really do nothing on Sunday. I say, what? He's like, yeah, I don't really do nothing on Sundays, bro. I kick it. I was like, all right. Because me, even on my off days, I do something productive, because it's like, I think about that Jay-Z lyric. You got to bite the bullet until you stuff in your face. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, bro, am I where I need to be? I got to keep working. I can't take this day off, or I can't do that. Or like when I went out of town before the world shut down, I had shot about 20 sketches, edited them all, scheduled them all. So for the time that I was out of town and maybe 2 more days after I got back, I didn't have to work. Okay. Just to make sure that, the machine kept running. Right. So you kind of have to do that if you ever want to take some days off. Like, I'll do all my work in a day to make sure I can chill for the week.
I've come up with even a different philosophy. Yeah. I think that when you're an entrepreneur and you're into business by yourself, there are no days off. You take breaks and rest when you can. Woo! Like, you can't. Like, I can't. Like, I think me saying Sunday was not only because of, just my church upbringing and, that. But even more than that, I was an employee. I was working Monday through Friday. And Friday, Saturday, and Sunday seems like the time to take off. I don't have that luxury anymore. Like especially now that I'm thinking like that, Sunday is actually the best time for me to work because everything is closed.
And ain't nobody working.
Traffic is much less. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's easier to get people. It's an easier day. So I had to read. And plus, apparently, this has been going on for 41 years of my life. And now that I'm living in these apartments, they want the rent every month. They don't take no months off. They don't ever just be like, nigga, just get it to us when you can.
We ain't tripping.
They want it every single month. And I'll be looking at that checking account balance like, you ain't going to do what, when? I had to tell myself, and I had to even tell Tony the other day because I was just like, man, I'm tired. She was like, I'm tired. I'm like, nigga, how are you tired? I'm the nigga.
I'm providing.
How you tired? I'm tired from watching you be tired.
Oh, but let me tell you something. If you are, because I think she posted one day, she was like, I was telling Doughboy how hard it is being a stay-at-home girlfriend.
Man,
and
listen. We don't even want to have that. Listen.
I say,
bro, I don't even understand it, bro. Like, I don't. The way that I'm and how I seen Dr. Dre's wife up in court arguing tooth and nail trying to get $2 million a month. She felt like everything that she contributed. We ain't never heard of her making a remix to the Chronic 2001, nothing. We ain't never heard her spit a Hot 16. You telling me you think you did something into that man's creative process to warrant? No. Let me listen to me.
I'm not going to interrupt you.
$2 million. So you think whatever you did in this marriage with this man for 20 years gives you a lifestyle of $24 million annually? Get the fuck out of here. I think the system is broken.
May I?
Yes, you can.
What
is wrong with the system, CT?
In my simpiest voice, do you know if she was his personal legal advisement?
No, I don't know that she was.
Because she is a lawyer.
Okay.
She's been with him his entire career.
Okay. No, it's not his entire career. They got together.
I'm sorry.
96.
Okay, 96.
He was killing shit way before
He was
then.
killing it. All right. In marriages, legally, when you are a provider.
We finna have this conversation, goddamn. I didn't want to have it, but we're going to have it.
We got to have it.
We're going to have it.
When you're a provider, you're providing for her lifestyle. She's grown accustomed to this lifestyle.
Okay.
And if that equaled $2 million a month that he was providing for her, maybe an allowance, maybe, her buying things. Also, she's a woman. So that legally, you gonna take that L. I have known very few men to walk away unscathed.
Jeff Bezos' wife got like $800 million. Bro, this system is flawed, bro. And I am not for one moment.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
I'm not for one moment saying that if a marriage fails and a woman was completely dependent upon a man, okay, I get all that. But some of this shit is just starting. And that's what I'm saying. When she said that, when Tony said that, like, you don't know how hard it is to be a stay-at-home girlfriend. How the fuck is that hard?
Listen.
How hard is it? How?
Well, I'm gonna tell you how hard it is.
How?
Let me say something, Doughboy. When you a bad bitch, staying in the house is hard. That's number one.
That's difficult to just sit in one, even during a pandemic.
If you a bad bitch.
Right.
I'm not saying if you a mud duck.
Right.
If you a mud duck, nobody wants you to come out. Stay in the house, please.
Quack, stay in the house.
Please. But if you a bad bitch, you got to go out in them streets. And the fact that she's not in them streets, let me tell you something.
That's worth money?
I've learned something from watching y'all's relationship.
Okay, what have you learned from watching it? You can just be honest, because this is the Just Us League podcast.
With all due respect,
just us here, man.
Tony belongs to the streets. Now, when I say this, I'm saying this in a way. Listen, let me finish it. Let me finish it.
You know you're going to start World War III when she sees this.
I'm going
to have to fight for my fiance's honor. How dare you?
Listen.
Tony's for the streets?
No.
Clean this up.
I did not say for.
Oh, you said what?
I said belongs.
So she belongs to the streets?
Let me finish, Doughboy. When I say Tony belongs to the streets, I am saying that Tony is a very beautiful woman.
Okay.
Tony is very astute, and she has fellow friends that are for the streets. She belongs.
What does it mean to belong to the streets?
All right. When you belong to the streets, you are used to being a stay-at-home, whatever you want at that time, because you're not a mud duck. When you
you can live a upper echelon life because of what your face affords you and your figure,
and whatever she makes the man she's with feel like. Let me say something. A woman can give a man the confidence to run through a brick wall. Okay. I wouldn't have accomplished I would have accomplished a lot. But I would have not have accomplished some of the things that I've accomplished if it wasn't for Tangerine.
Okay.
Now, with that said, that's because she gave me the confidence and the belief in myself that sometimes I lack.
Does she belong to the streets?
No.
Wait, how you gonna nah?
Because
But my girl belongs to the
Tangerine
streets?
is the streets. Here's the
Okay,
difference,
so
bro. There are
Tangerine
levels.
is the streets. So
Yes.
so Tonisha belongs to Tangerine?
Well, let me finish. Tangerine is the streets, meaning this is how you know your lady belongs to or is the streets.
Okay.
When your lady
Okay.
just randomly has to start twerking and you gotta get over that look to stop
But Tony don't do stuff like that.
in front of you yet. Listen,
So you think this is coming to
listen, brother. When you got to tell your girl to chill on some fast, when she being fast, she belongs. Second thing, when she knows how the game goes, meaning when you can't get your lie out quick enough because she knows the truth.
Okay.
She knows the game. The streets is the game. The streets are you're lying. The streets are I know what other girls do because I used to do that.
Okay.
B, have girls that still do that.
Okay.
C, I can see this coming a mile away because I've dealt with guys like you who have tried to do this to me. That's the streets. When I say
So
I
she
belong
belongs
to
to
the
that.
streets,
So
it's
she
not
belong-
because I'm a whore.
so
It's
she-
because I know how the game
So
goes.
she belongs to the streets because she has lived a life and her physical
Yes.
prowess has afforded her a certain amount of a lifestyle to be involved in the game enough to know how it works, the ins and outs, the ups and downs, all the way of it. So she has to belong to it because she's a proverbial master of it.
Yes. Compared to a mud duck who has just been a sacrifice to the
Okay.
streets. Now, when I said
So how she sacrificed?
remember the
so
example.
she sacrificed to
let
Tangerine.
me finish the
Okay,
sentence.
cool, got it.
Remember the example that I gave that I said her girls are for the streets.
Okay.
I don't know all of them, but I'm saying if she has a friend that you know every time she with that particular friend, you're like, please just don't come on break. That's what 4 is. Okay.
Like her best friend's like a stripper. I done said too much. Damn it.
And I'm not saying all strippers. I'm saying some. Now, to go back to this, I'm not saying physical prowess that you're saying. I'm not saying that she's having sex with everybody. I'm saying that she knows the game and she knows that she does not have to work because she will only deal with men. She said this on the show before too. She's dealt with men who've had it together. She didn't want to deal with no dude that's on the couch or living with his mama. We've talked about this. I'm only using facts.
So she belongs to the streets. Now, do you marry a woman that belongs to the streets? And how can you
Hard not to.
de-belong? How do you de-belong her from the streets?
Once
Unbelonging
the
her.
streets, always the streets.
So
Now,
she's always so she could just one day choose. She could hope to aspire to be the streets, i.e., a Tangerine.
Yeah,
that means
because-
you've mastered. You're like Sun Tzu of the streets.
you know why is that Shang Tsung?
Shang
you're talking
Tsung.
about?
You know, the guy that can be
I had to
everybody.
ask. The reason Tangerine is the streets
Okay.
is because Tangerine now has a ring.
So the ring now makes you the streets.
Because now you're a pro player. You off the court.
You're
now
just coming
you
up with this
watching-
just now. You've
telling
known
you
this.
the
For, why
truth.
have you waiting until now to tell me?
You don't ask me a lot of questions. Now we're talking about basketball. She's no longer a player on the court.
Is she a coach or is she an owner?
She's now in the box watching the game
So
because
she's
that's
like a-
what is the streets is.
So she's not even on the bench with the other.
No,
with the
why
other
should she have to get sweaty when she has pawns to do it for her? Come on, man. Now where your lady is
So
right
also,
now,
then basically what you're saying is just propose to her, and then she now doesn't belong to the streets. She belongs to me, but she was of the streets, and now she is the streets.
yes. Once you get that ring on her finger and y'all say I do, now she's in the box office with the owner. She's sitting in the owner seats.
I still, but then in the event that it doesn't work out, I got to give up half.
Oh, you got to give up half. Let me tell you something. I had a conversation. We had an argument where we start talking about money, Tangerine and I thought I could just write a little check. Yeah, you going about your business. She was like, "Oh no, you have earning potential." I was like, "What does that mean?
See-
does that mean you can get money for what I haven't made yet?" She was like,
This is the other thing I want to ask you about, and then we can move on to the second part of our show. I know we're running long. I'm sorry. But
Hey,
this is
we
just-
going tonight,
we're going
baby.
tonight. Okay, so listen. Kevin Samuels is a dude I've been watching a lot, right? And he has been just
"Love Kevin."
He's been saying a lot of things. He's like changing my life and revolutionizing my mind.
Uh-huh.
But did you know that basically he was saying that only 10% of black men make over $100,000?
Only how many percent?
10
Black men.
black men. That's what he says. Not my facts. That's what he said.
If we're talking about the population of America or the population of black men.
Just black men. Just black
No,
men.
no. I mean, I get the understanding of 10% of black men, but I'm talking about 10% of black men being that there's 30% of black people that make up the country, or is he saying 10% out of the 100% of just black men?
I don't know how he broke out down
Okay.
all the confused. He's just saying 10% of niggas is only getting over $100,000. So that made me feel like I'm a different type of nigga because I make over 100K. So, but this is what he was saying that was just really kind of rearranging my mind. So when women want to get with a guy,
Yeah.
right, and they, so you know what this nigga's bringing to the table. He's making 100,000. People like us, we have a potential, earning potential that's really kind of infinite. Like we can make it into the millions, might make it into the billions. Like not everybody has earning potential
Right.
to do that. So he was basically saying, what does a woman bring to the situation if she's not working? So she can't do all those things. She can't. So for argument's sake, with Dr. Dre and his wife, okay, cool. She's not making these beats. She's not selling headphones. She's not doing anything, but she's doing something that is supposed to be quantified to equate to money. So what does a woman do to equate for, even just to say $100,000? Is it that she cooks your meals? Is it that she says nice things to you? Like, what is it that a woman does that could equate to $100,000 that she's not making at a job?
Let me
You
ask
see
you a
what I'm
question. I do understand
Okay.
exactly what you're saying, but I have to get your thoughts on this before I give you your answer.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to be rude by answering a question with a question. I'm just trying to get my personal clarity so I don't give you the wrong answer.
Yes.
For you, you have a daughter.
I do.
Let's say you decide to have another child.
Right. I'm trying. I want one. I got to have another doughboy. The world won't be the same without another
I don't
version
think you
of
want a
this.
kid to be called Fat Tony. So you've been through that, so hopefully he don't have to go through that. So listen, in the event that you have another child,
Right.
the lady that bears your child for you,
Yes.
I'm assuming because of what you do,
Most-
she's going to be a stay-at-home mom, perhaps, right?
Yes.
So in that event, this woman taking care of your child, that means educating your child. That means bringing your child up with a certain set of values that you might not be able to be there 24/7. You might be filming a movie. You might be doing your project over here. She has this child more than you. She's homeschooling before the school start, teaching the kid how to read, doing all these things, cooking, cleaning, also making sure she's an amazing woman to you, keeping the house up, right? Keeping you cool after a stressful day. You would not put a value on that. I'm asking.
I'm trying to.
No, I'm asking you, do you find those things valuable?
I do find those things valuable.
Okay.
And they're great.
All right.
But let's just take it out of the kid situation because that's a different conversation. Let's just take it to two people being married. Like you were just saying, you were just having a conversation with your lady. You were
Yeah.
like, I'll write a check. So in that, so let's just say, just take kids out of it because I think that's a different dynamic. But with just two people.
Just two
Two
people.
individuals. Okay, now let's just say, in this situation, what does your woman bring to the relationship? Like that if you had to quantify it into money, what things does she do and what dollar amount would a person be able to put on it?
Okay, let
It's
me
just,
give you
it's
this.
just, it's just kind of
Now
odd
that
to
I
just
have
say
this
it's
answer,
priceless.
because you answered that way.
Okay.
I'll speak for myself. Tangerine has provided countless material for me to develop on stage, make money from, make content out of, and monetize, right? So I could genuinely say that I could have accounted for at one point a very hefty number that she was responsible for because of this.
Just from just giving you ideas,
this
brainstorming,
idea, not brainstorming.
or just being around a person enough to organically.
No, listen.
Okay.
The things that she does that have annoyed me, I've been able to create material out of and monetize.
But wouldn't that be more speaking to your gift than it is whatever she's doing?
I have to be influenced.
Okay.
So if she does something to piss me off, now that just created a monetary amount right after I do what I did with it, right? So let's say, for example, a Doughboy situation. This podcast wouldn't be what it is if we didn't have a relationship and weren't inspired by each other or react to each other the way we do,
True.
right?
Right.
That is a certain amount that can grow.
Okay.
So with my relationship with my wife, had she not given me these influences, it would have been like, oh yeah, get out of here. You've not contributed anything.
Right.
But because of what she's contributed, I can't say how much she's earned or deserved because, like you just said with Dr. Dre's lady, his ex-lady, she didn't write any beats. She didn't write any songs. She didn't create any beats. She didn't do this. She didn't do that. I'm giving a small example of what this woman has done for me that I can track. Not only that, but the things that she's been able to do for my own mental, my spiritual, and my emotional well-being.
So that would be why courts quantify it and say half because they just say it's easier just to say 50-50 on a split. You know, I don't know.
And women will always win in court.
I guess like the more I was hearing him say that, like, and I'm even looking into my, my own relationship.
You show me a guy who's got more money out of a divorce than a woman, and I will show you a guy who has just told her.
So that's the thing. I guess I'm just trying to wrap my brain around the system. I think it's flawed, but I don't think I'll ever totally get it. But it's time. Let's move on.
It's time to bring our guest in.
Our guest is here. Do you want to intro him or should I intro him?
I think you should because I'm gonna give you the setup and I want you to knock it out the park.
Okay, cool.
This guest, first of all, I am a proud. I don't even say like this about people, but I've seen this guy. He's I want to say 18 or something like that. This guy, 19. Shut the fuck up, okay? Anyway, this guy is like a little brother. I love this dude. He's world famous. The world literally loves this guy. He's one of the funniest people on the planet. You guys are like Batman and Robin. Doughboy, take it away.
Yes, man. And the dude that we're bringing to the show, man, I look at him like a little brother. I don't feel like blood would make us any closer. We've worked on a million things together. You guys have seen us with Teddy versus Doughboy. You've seen us on the studio. You've seen us on a bunch of different stuff with All Def. We've been rocking for a little bit over a decade or close to it. Shout out to my brother, the one, the only, Teddy Ray.
Teddy Ray.
What's up with it, y'all?
What's up, player?
What's up with it? What's
Man,
up
we
about
out-
player partners, man?
Man, we out
You
here
can do it on
living,
the screen,
man.
Cole? So
Yeah,
we
can we
can-
get the screen thing going on?
So we can see, so I ain't got to keep turning to the left and the right now.
Alright.
There he is.
Young Lorenz.
Hey,
My man. How you doing, Teddy?
How you doing,
I'm
Teddy?
blessed, man. I can't complain. How y'all feeling?
Oh,
Man, thanks for being patient. We was up here getting
Yeah,
it in.
man. Sorry, we was having a soul berry. Did you have anything you wanted to add on any stuff that we were just talking about?
I'm not married. Y'all over here talking about writing checks to me. I'm over here arguing with the check still from the bitch. Like, hold on. You ordered 2 mojitos.
2 mojitos.
Goddamn. And some king crab legs.
Not King Crab, bro.
So I think it's a dope question to ask, Theodore, because you're going into the point where your career.
Wow, book all them Theodore.
Right.
You're going to the
Fat
next.
Tony.
I know I should've said that. So you're going to the point where your career. I've
Hey,
seen your career from the beginning.
No, boy, I would have fought every day to change my name. With fists, feet, I don't give a fuck.
Facts.
You not just finna sit up and call me Fat Tony every day.
It happened,
Especially
man.
in the pool.
I
Did
grew
you
up
have a
in
shirt
the 80s.
on in the pool? Or did
No,
you have
I would
no
never
shirt?
be the fat guy with his shirt on in the
Good
pool.
for
I don't
you.
believe in that.
Good for you.
Fat niggas take your shirts off. Tell you, did you used to have your shirt on in the pool back in the day?
When I was littler, yes, but then I hit my fuck it age, and then
How about that?
What was that? What age did you hit the fuck it at?
like 15, 16.
Okay.
When that pussy hit my life.
Ooh. Let's watch the expletives.
For real.
Oh,
I
my
want to
bad.
keep the money on this thing.
So I think it's a dope time to ask Teddy this right now. So
Yeah.
you're at a point where your career, you about to pop, and anybody that knows, we've been around you, as your boys, like you starting to hit a stride now. Where he just did a show with Burner, the dude that's doing the weed on 420. He's got a lot of other exciting positive
Let's talk.
things coming
He's
up.
also done the white stuff,
And
which
he has,
means
exactly.
that he's already popped. But
So
he's going to continue to get
continue, and
yeah.
you're almost there. So now, and then we can even open this up to you, CT.
Yeah.
Do you feel like getting a woman in your life right now will help take you to the next level and even keep you going, or do you just want to keep going with what's got you here?
No lie, I felt every word CT said about a woman actually helping you. Not like I call women $1 million muses sometimes just because they don't even know. Just you being here and you giving me interaction is inspiring.
Yes.
Wow.
Like, Doughboy, I love you. I'm not, it's only so much inspiration I been getting sitting next to you, my nigga. You feel me? Like,
Facts.
So, yeah, I just, I had a girl last time. I damn near was like, if we ever called it quits, I'll give you the whole checkbook. Because you damn near that inspiring.
So you
and I know I could boss up and do it again on my own.
So you co-signing what he says, the value of a woman, you really can't put a dollar amount on it.
It got to be the right one.
Yeah, the right one. Not just a
Tangerine
random.
is a rarity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She is a rarity. Like when he was making the whole just like she the Don Cornelius of the streets, nigga. Like she make the other bitches hit the scramble board and do all that other goofy shit. Like I felt it, but yeah, I'm looking for one of them.
So you ready? So if you find her now, because Teddy been out here in the
I feel like
streets.
I got her. I just gotta. It's just things I gotta adjust in myself.
Listen, man, pull the trigger, jump in the pool, propose.
Whoa. Hold on a second.
You gotta do it.
How old are you now, Teddy?
I'm 30.
Wow, you're 30?
Yeah, man.
Little
I started
Teddy
at
used to be
90s.
18.
Jesus Christ. Okay, listen, man. Don't propose off top.
do that shit.
How long y'all been dealing with each other?
Me and her, I've known her since a child.
Okay, how long have y'all been together?
3 years on and off.
All right, so that means she's known your family.
Oh yeah, we been
Okay.
connected.
So this is what I'll say: if you feel if y'all broke up today that you couldn't find another her, then the answer to your question is let me build a life with her. Facts. But if you can say honestly, if you broke up with her today, that you would be cool and never even think of her again, as far as being like, oh yeah, she was cool. If that's it, then that's not the one that
The
you want to build a
Leo
life
and me be saying that about every bitch.
I be thinking every chick is the one. I've thought that a lot of times in
you
my
fall
life.
in love very fast.
So how do you know who's the one? Like how do you what separated her for most other chicks to you? Is
Like
this-
what he said, if I could cut her off and I had a chick, I cut it off not too long ago, didn't think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I had peaceful nights of sleep and eating and shit, just licking my thumbs, all kind of shit. I was
Licking your thumbs?
living beautifully. And I was like, oh, damn, I did just coldly cut this bitch off.
Coldly?
Cold
You got
cuts,
to. You can't.
literally.
Yeah, because you don't want to leave room for
For nothing. So would you say that you and her were friends for a long time?
who, me and the girl that
The
I
girl
really
that
like?
the one that you really like? Are you?
Yeah.
Okay, so that brings me to our next question. I wanna.
Wait, before you say that,
Okay.
this is why she's important, Teddy. She's known you when you were just funny in school.
Right.
And that's how you know that she doesn't just want your money or your potential.
Right.
Just remember that. Keep going.
All right, so I want to ask you guys this, and it's a pretty viral clip going on, and we're gonna play the clip. We figured out the sound situation.
Listen,
we
I
talked.
swear to get Cole.
We're gonna fight over text one day
Because you don't understand, man. Cole, I got
You wanna read
so
the
many
text?
comments on my Patreon and my YouTube channel. Hey, what's good? What happened to this sound right here? Which something happened sound like smart. One dude was like, I don't like the audience they added in. I was like, what are you talking about? Audience. And then I looked and I was like, the clip played more than once.
No, but what he did, we figured out what it was. He
Uh-huh.
accidentally was testing it just to make sure it was going. He didn't realize it was hot during the episode. That's what ended up happening. So we figured it out. Bada bing, bada boom.
Cole,
We're good.
I need you
Send
to.
them for me.
What did you say?
I'll take them, bro. Send them for me.
Man,
Swole
I just
Cole.
need you to look at it
Swole
before you
Cole
send
at
it to us.
gmail.com.
What if that's really his email?
Swole Cole.
I need you. I need
That's
you to look at it
hilarious.
before you send it to us.
Swole Cole.
Because these comments be wild. And
They
I'm
got
the
it.
only one who get the brunt of it because you don't be responding.
Ah, man, I got to get out there, man. My feelings be getting hurt. All right, so Pete, Steve Harvey. So we're gonna do the Steve Harvey one first, and we're not gonna do the video because we're trying to monetize this thing. They want the rent every month. So this is what Steve Harvey said a couple of years ago, and I want to get you guys' opinion on it. Play it, please, Swole Cole.
Friends are men. I don't have female friends. I don't. I'm incapable of that. You're an attractive woman. There's some guy somewhere saying, "Yeah, we're friends." No, that's not true. He's your friend only because you have made it absolutely clear that nothing else is happening except this friendship we have. We remain your friends in hopes that one day there'll be a crack in the door, a chink in the armor, and trust and believe that guy that you think is just your buddy, he will slide in that crack the moment he gets the opportunity.
And you
Because
think
we're
most
guys.
men think this way?
He means the crack in that ass. as
one more,
opposed to
keep-
just- oh, go
That
ahead.
part.
99.9% of us think that way.
Okay, pause. I must represent the 0.0001%.
Oh, my God.
That he is not. That he says doesn't. I don't listen. Now, have I looked at what he says and the way that he says it? And before I even start, shout out to Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
Great guy, funny guy, all that good stuff.
Legendary.
So I don't want to come off like I'm attacking the brother for his opinion. But I used to have that state of mind, which I honestly feel is toxic. I feel like it's toxic for a lot of reasons. I think we got to stop training young boys and young well, let's just start with boys. I think you got to stop telling boys that that's the only time you're talking or trying to have a conversation with a woman is because you're interested in her. I feel like that's so, like, I have a lot of female friends that are just my friends, and I didn't get that. I didn't get them until I was in my mid-30s, and I had realized that because I was doing that. Every woman that I liked, I would try to start a fake friendship to try to gain the trust to be like, yeah. And when you really think about that, that's really disingenuous. It doesn't really come from an honest place. It's, okay, I know that you won't allow me in, so I'm going to kind of act like I'm this and that. And that's how people get their feelings hurt. That's how people get friend zoned. So I think that he's right and he's wrong at the same time. I think he's right because that's how it normally has been. But I feel like it is up to people like us and younger people than us to tell the younger generation that is not how you should be. I don't think that you should try to date people that you're like trying to work with, or I don't even know if that's even the thing I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that you have to be friends with everybody that you're trying to date. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you can have people that say, hey, I just want to date this person, but I don't feel like you have to say, no, I'm not going to have a friendship with you unless I have some type of intention or motive to.
It's not what he said.
But that's the gist of what he said.
It's not the gist.
That's actually exactly what he said.
You actually have to hear what he said. He said, the part that you're leaving out,
okay,
you gave everything else to prove your point.
Okay.
I'm going to agree with a lot of the things that you said, but the one thing that you did not acknowledge was him saying, ask as a woman your male friends, hey, would you like to get down?
That part.
And he said 99.9% of them will slide in that crack of opportunity and take that down.
Okay.
Now, what you said.
No. He said no. That's not what he said. You're misquoting him. We
quote
just
me
heard what he
perfectly.
said. Do we have to play it again?
Play
Play it back.
again.
Please run it back, Swole.
This brother got me all the way.
It's finna be
Let's
a
hear
little
it one more
cat
time.
Absolutely clear that nothing else is happening except this friendship we have.
Oh, wait, no. But from the beginning part, so we can hear what he said correctly.
Yeah.
Please.
All of my friends are men. I don't have female friends. I don't. I'm incapable of that.
You
You're
said
an
this
attractive
part?
woman. There's some guy somewhere saying, yeah, we're friends. No, that's not true. He's your friend only because you have made it absolutely clear.
Pause.
That
Wait, let him finish that sentence.
Okay.
Nothing else is happening
Because
except
she's
this
made it
friendship.
clear.
Pause it.
We
So he's saying that what he is saying is a man is only going to be your friend if he tried to get at you first and you said no, and then he'll just settle for friendship. That's what he said.
Which are facts. Now listen.
But that's what he said.
No, boy, am I able to finish my thought, brother? Is that okay?
Yes,
I thought it was just
us. Okay, got it.
All right. Now,
I'm here too.
now listen. With a man, he just said, unless you've made it perfectly clear that nothing is going to happen, the man is going to be like, oh, man, well, I guess if I can't smash, I'm going to stick around as her friend. Now, I'm going to ask you, because I know that this is BS that you just said, out of every friendship and friend zone that you've been put in, I've been there.
Right. No, boy.
That you've been put in.
I've been put in a lot.
Are you telling me that you just randomly went up to women while you were single and been friends and just wanted to be friends?
Absolutely not.
Okay,
And I am a part of the problem. Okay.
I'm not done.
Okay.
Now, he is saying, unless she's made it perfectly clear that nothing is going to happen. I have women friends. I also made an I'll be back video about this because I felt so strongly.
Okay.
I have women friends that I've never slept with. I also, in some of those numbers, have women friends that I'm like, hey, what's up? Oh, no?
Okay.
Well, I'll just be cool.
Okay.
Because the thing that you're not focusing on is him saying to the women, ask these male friends, would you smash? Now, if those male friends said, no, I wouldn't smash you, genuine friendship on both ends, nobody wants the other one. But if a woman has had to tell a guy, hey, I don't like you like that, and they stay friends, then that is part of the thing that he's talking about. Everybody's jumping down the wrong part of this, which is men and women can't be friends. That's not all he's saying. He's saying that the friendship that you have, he's friends with you because either A, it also depends on how y'all met. But either A, because he's tried to smash and you said no, and he's like, I'm going to settle for friendship, or B, he hasn't told you that he wanted it, but if you gave it to him, he would take it.
Why can't you just be somebody's friend? Okay, let's give it. Teddy, what are your thoughts on this? I don't want to
Please.
ball hog this. How did you feel, Theodore?
I mean, I think Steve kind of was stating facts.
Exactly.
It is extreme. I think
It's extreme very much.
Okay.
I think I used to have a play sister in high school, right? and every morning she would press her breasts against my chest. And I liked the way that felt. And I was like, I don't want you to be my play sister no more.
She would just rub her chest against
Nah,
you.
we would just, we
Oh,
would
she'd be
hug,
like,
and it
okay.
was just, she was soft. So I'd be,
High school, boy.
man, them hugs meant
Right.
something.
They did.
That's when you going through the ultimate adolescence
Right.
and that puberty.
Man, so I just realized at that moment, I got 5 sisters. I don't need no play sisters.
At all.
I will accept women friendship because I respect women's minds.
Yeah,
and
I love 'em.
respect their lives, and I respect their choices and all
Yeah.
kind of other things. I would say it probably took me to about 21, 22 to have genuine connections versus just me chilling, seeing if I could hit it or not.
Right.
Like just that kind of vibe. Just, hey, whenever she
Right. And I think
whenever
that
she with it, I mean, she gonna be,
And it depends on how you meet, because that's a very important thing. I have friendships with women that I've met them in capacities where I would never try to even find out if I could smash, because it's either been a professional environment or I met them through a friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh man, this dude is on my list of girls that I would never smash out.
Right.
And this is how I met her. That friendship is off limits. She's just my friend. But if I met her in a social setting where I was by myself before I got that young ring on the finger, then it's like, hey, what?
okay,
no?
but-
All right, well, we cool.
But let me ask you guys this, and I'm pretty sure you guys have dealt with this or at least heard women say this to you at some point in your lives. Most women will say they're not willing to be in a relationship with a dude unless they build a friendship first.
So what are
how
we
do you-
even talking about?
So how do you even build if like one thing can't be, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you get to the relationship if we're saying that you can't be friends with a woman?
All
so that
about
means
how
that
you
we'll
met.
never get to.
That's not true. I'm married to a girl
I
that I
want
was
you
a
to
friend
make sure you
zone.
unpack what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying that from what Brother Steve is saying
Yes.
is that men are incapable
Brother
of having
Steve.
friendships
Yes.
with women, right?
You just gave two contradictory points. You gave his point, and then you said, but most women say
That you
they
have-
can't be in a relationship with you unless
But what
you
I'm
guys
saying
are
is,
friends.
so people, what I'm saying, if Steve is saying that men and women are incapable of being in friendships, and women are saying they're not going to be in relationships unless they're built on friendships, how do we ever get to the relationships if the friendships can't be built?
Well, one, you don't listen to the guy without the vagina. That's the first thing.
that part.
Let's focus on the people with the
Right.
vaginas.
So the women are saying you got to be their friend. So even though he said he can't be friends with a woman,
He also said, and this is another thing that is tripping me out about people reacting like this, and people don't even watch the whole video before they make a reaction. He also said, I
am incapable, and I love that he did that.
He started it off letting you know, I'm not speaking for everybody. I'm speaking for me. And then he made the generalization by saying 99.9% of men ain't turning it down.
Right.
Which are facts. Now, for your point, women who say they want to be friends first is genius. And then you said, how do you become friends with these women? I'm married to a girl that I was her friend first. I tried to get it off top. She's like, no. I'm like, all right, well, I ain't going to stop trying. You know what I'm talking about? But we cool. I'm always going to be your friend. And then you both see each other in a different light.
But
and it
you
ends
see
up
what
happening.
you did, CT? You
What?
gave her that honesty. You let her know, I'm cool with you, but this is my intention.
Exactly.
It's when you hide your attention.
Facts.
But see, that's
when it gets creepy.
But see, that's where I feel like I've for one missed out on a ton of great friendships that I probably could have had with women because I always thought that I needed to say I was trying to be her friend to really later show her I'm really trying to date. So I am saying that I'm part of the problem and the solution. So I am part of the population that does that. So I'm just like, how do we untrain ourselves to think like that? Because I just feel like as niggas, we're gonna fuck it up all the time if we only will build a friendship if we get turned down or
just
if it's
have more conversations with women.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. That didn't come until my mid 30s.
Talk to more women.
Listen, I've had conversations with a lot of my women friends that I have not had sex with. And the conversations be so dope because I'll be talking to them, and a lot of times women will turn you off for you as opposed to them getting turned off by you. Like, I remember we use Takara as an example, right?
Yeah.
Takara is hilarious. She's a great comedian.
Yes.
She's a beautiful girl.
She is.
I remember when I first met her, right? When I first met her, didn't know she was married or anything at the time. I first met her, and then she started talking about, wearing sneakers without socks, and I was like, ugh, like that's something that disgusts me, bro. Like anytime I see a woman wearing sneakers with no socks,
she got some
I
ankle
swear to
socks or
God,
something?
every time I be, let me try to see the ankle line. Oh, she ain't got them on. I'm disgusted because I feel like I think about the after process. I'm like, oh, when you get home and you take them shoes off,
It's gonna be a little tart in
it's
there.
about to be disgusting. And then you're
It's
gonna
gonna
put
be
them
warm,
shoes
tart
on
air.
again, right? Then you get the women. I don't be sweating like that. Shut your nasty ass up. Yes, you do. So she had said it on stage, and I was like, ugh. And then I learned she was married, and then I had already become friends with her and her man at the time, and we sustained a friendship. Never tried to smash her, and never even tried to find out that's because in the midst of us learning each other and having those conversations, like Teddy said, you already know either A, I just got turned off by something, or B, you just like, oh man, this is gonna be a friend for life.
And I guess that's what I'm trying to find that balance in, because like even like this that came up with Tony, and she was just basically like, you ain't finna have no female friends. I was like,
Oh,
relax,
thank
I'm
you for
gonna have-
telling me, stay at home girlfriend. What I'm gonna do? Why you at the crib?
where are you calling me from? Home. Now get out of
How? What time you coming? Can you bring up at your best?
So let me ask y'all this. So in a relationship, do you let, I don't want to say let, like you
Thank you,
have
Teddy.
control
Because
over
when Doughboy
somebody.
is in the middle of something, he can't hear no jokes. I appreciate you,
I
Teddy.
missed it,
Jesus
man.
Christ. Go ahead, Doughboy.
I missed it.
We're
Well,
doing
no.
a comedy here.
No, the thing I'm saying, so if you guys are in a relationship, are you cool with your woman having men friends? Knowing how y'all think.
Listen, man, I told you. Well, Teddy, go ahead first, brother.
Hey man, say man, I'm from LA. It's the home of players and palm trees. You feel me? So
Players and palm trees.
it's hard
Put it
for
on the
your
shirt.
lady to not have some type of masculine influence in her life.
Okay.
She wants that. She needs that. She needs some type of counsel. You need some counsel when you
I'm a wild nigga. I
need to
plenty
get talked
counsel.
off the ledge, and that's. I don't think. I don't want to say you using the opposite sex, but sometimes you just need to get a difference of opinion. And your homies is only. I'm gonna give you terrible advice, Doughboy.
You've given me terrible advice.
It's gonna be. I'm gonna give you some gems.
Nigga drove my car when I was in rehab. It's a whole story. It's
Man, what happened?
We'll
with,
tell that
what,
story
I wanna,
another
yeah, go ahead, Teddy.
This nigga told me to drive it. That's first.
Oh, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that. Yo,
He
drive
just didn't
car.
give me no location to where I could go, and I
telling
took it further than what he should.
we absolutely telling
He
that
was like,
story
"You
after
could go
this.
to Ralph's and to the store." I was like, "I'm going to
He took it to Frisco.
I'm going to Frisco?
with no license. And they got a ticket because they took a picture of it because he was driving in the carpool lane. Just seeing
Oh, you wildin'.
seeing this greedy nigga just.
Smoking weed,
Well,
blowing too.
No, I didn't do none of that because I didn't have no L's.
And
When
I was in, but I
when
was
I
in,
ain't got no L's, I drive Caucasian.
but I was in rehab at the time. So then I call him like, "Hey man, the rehab just got raided by the FBI. I'm coming home to get my car." He didn't believe that I really got out of rehab.
I thought you was going to say he didn't believe you was coming to get the car.
This nigga was in LA.
Because he was
driving.
like, "I'm gonna be gone for 60 days." Halfway through week 2, he like, "Man, I'm thinking he escaped. I'm thinking he made up some grand story. He just said F the rehab. He wasn't rocking with it no more."
Because that's a dope boy. That's believable.
right. And then I Googled it.
This shit really happened. It was really real. Sovereign health.
I was
Look it
like,
up.
wow.
But nah, man. So y'all are cool with if your lady had dude friends. Y'all are cool.
Players and palm trees. Number one, you got to understand that your woman has had a life before you.
Right?
You had a life before your lady.
Oh, I did.
I am not a dictator when it comes to my relationship. She's an adult. She owns her vagina, just like I own this elephant trunk. And you can do what you want. You know, you're gonna be hurt no matter what. You can be hurt if she does something or argues with whatever.
But do
You
you
can
feel
have
like
these
she
friends.
can have genuine friendships with men? That's just a basic
That
question.
don't want to have sex with her? No, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Hilarious.
She had, because I also said in my video, I said the only guys who could have I shouldn't say only. There are a lot of guys who can have pure relationships with women without wanting them. Even if the woman says, "Do you want to smash?" he'll say no.
Right.
A lot of those guys are gay, right? And the reason that I can't even stand fully behind that is because she had a gay friend, right? This gay Italian dude was her friend. They was working together. And he told her one day, because he had a boyfriend. They lived together and everything. He told her one day, "Yeah, he's the only guy I've ever been with. So, you know what I'm saying? If you ever want to, I was like, I can't even leave you with the gay homie because he was still shooting his shot.
Damn. Wow.
That
Yeah,
nigga's
man.
greedy.
Hey, he wanted it all.
Man,
This is trash, man.
come on, bro.
Well, how's everybody been feeling, man? We ran a little.
No,
over
we're
today.
not done. So
what else
you
we
want to talk about tell your favorite Teddy story.
Okay. Well, that was part of it. So let me tell this story. Well,
Yeah.
I guess I've told all the bullet points in that story, but I was going to mesh it with another one. So to tell that story, first of all,
Yeah.
Teddy was there when I realized that I needed to go to rehab because I had been drinking and then I tripped into a toilet and it came out of the floor and then the water was just squirting up. So Teddy was there at the time and he was just like, yeah, though, maybe it's.
Sound like a Vince Vaughn movie.
so he's helping me like clean up the water and stuff
Yeah.
and all that shit, right? So I'm like, all right, Teddy, you know what I'm saying? The girl I was dating at the time, she was like, you need to go to rehab. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to rehab. So I'm telling Teddy, I'm like, all right, man, I'm gonna go. You know, I kind of had this situation like with my car. I had a guy. I used to call him the guy. So I didn't have a place where I was like leasing a car from. I just knew a dude. He was a tow truck driver, and he would basically lease out the cars to regular niggas like me without a credit check. And you'd have to pay him $300 a month. You just needed to keep insurance on the car. But he was like a guy. He really went business, Armenian dude, and you knew you had to have
course.
the $300 for him every month. But he was a cool guy. So I told
Until you ain't got the $300.
Exactly. Then you know you show up, it's guns everywhere. Like, whoa, Vladimir, chill out. So no, so basically, so basically, I'm letting him know, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm about to go. And so I didn't have no insurance on the
Yeah.
ar. So I'm just like, all right, I was like, Teddy, because Teddy had gotten me out of some pickles in life. He drove
Yeah.
me home from a Super Bowl party. He was
First
always
off, before Doughboy even goes in, Doughboy needed a driver. At least every 3 days.
Yeah.
Man, just give me to
just get me to the house.
Just give me to the house, ass nigga.
So he would do, so I would let him drive the car certain times. So it was cool. So as I'm getting ready to go, I'm like, this is right about the time we were shooting some stuff with. So I was like, look, man, I'm going to go. I'll be here for 30 days. Just stay here. I was like, you can drive the car like to the store, whatever, da-da-da-da, but it's cool. All right, cool. So then I go, whatever. So then when I had left, I hadn't paid old boy his money, you know what I'm saying? So he's a guy that really doesn't play. So he had let me know, hey, man, I drove by the house a couple times. I didn't see that car because I told him the car was parked. I said, listen, man, I said, the car is parked. It's not going anywhere. I'm going to rehab to better myself. This is a good thing. He was like, all right. He was like, all right. But apparently he didn't think that I was the most honest fellow. So you know how my house, like my apartment is. So because he had a tow truck, like I guess like he has a thing to open up everybody's gate. So he would go and look at the parking spot and see that the car wasn't there. So I was checking my voicemail from rehab, just making sure, you know, my business was straight in the streets, and he was leaving messages like,
Wow.
He said making sure his business was straight.
in the streets.
Because it sounded like you said I was making sure my bitches was
I
Oh,
straight.
my
thought, yeah,
business.
I was,
Exactly.
Business. I meant business. I didn't
Yeah.
have no hoes at the
I
time.
could have sworn.
So business in the streets
You got
was
the
okay.
enunciate, baby.
So then I hear him talking, and he's like, yo, I went by your house. I didn't see the car. So I'm like, Teddy, God damn it. So I called Teddy. I call him from rehab. I'm like, nigga, car ain't got insurance. Dude say he's looking for. I was like, park the car, bro. Da-da-da. Teddy's like, all right, man, don't worry about it, man. I got it. So then, boom. Fast forward 2 weeks. The place is a
And
whole
by this
sim.
phone call, I'm back from Frisco.
Okay.
I'm back. I'm like, oh, we clear. The car
But
parked.
he didn't say he had drove the car to Frisco.
Yeah.
That's cool. So
By
then,
this phone call, I'm like, oh, we back. We good. We
So,
good, man.
so then fast forward to me. I'm at the counselor lady's office at the rehab place. I'm like, something's just wrong with this place. I'm like, look, I got to leave. And she's like, no, why do you want to leave? You should stay. Get yourself together. You shouldn't be drinking, da-da-da. All I hear is doop, 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 doop. FBI agents come in. Set up, get on the ground, da-da-da-da. Long story short, we're shutting this place down. Insurance fraud, some other stuff. So I'm
Somebody in the
like,
back getting a happy ending.
so it's crazy shit going on, right? So I'm like, so now I'm 2 weeks in. So then I call Tay like, hey man, it's crazy, man. There was insurance fraud going on. So the nigga interrogates me for 20 minutes, like, wait, what are you talking about? I'm like, nigga, apparently something was going on. I got to come home. He's like, oh, all right. I'm like, okay, I'm going to come home and get the car because he has the keys to the house car. Now, at any point, he could have just said, hey, man, remember that conversation we had the other day? Didn't say anything. I go all the way home, and just like the nigga that had been checking on the spot to look at the car, unbeknownst to me, the car ain't there. This nigga knows that I'm coming home, so I'm looking at, okay. And so then I call him like, Teddy, what's up, man? He was like, oh, man, what's up? Where you at, man? You almost, I'm like, Teddy, I'm here, nigga. Oh, man, look, I had an audition. So he's downtown L.A. So I'm already pissed. So I'm like, all right, so told this nigga before I left, look, Teddy, you can have the house.
I had 4 Ubers
You can have the
canceled on me
room.
that day.
You can have the, I told him, I said, listen, bro.
It was some last minute. I'm an ain't shit nigga, but I'll take accountability.
I told Teddy before I left, I said, listen, Teddy, when I'm gone, you can have the house. You can do whatever you need to do. Sleep in the bed, I don't care. Just don't smoke cigarettes in the room. And plus, nigga, like I didn't think I had to say, but I didn't say nothing about alcohol, but I was just like, you know, I'm in rehab. So I go upstairs to the room. Blanket, just the room is just a mess. Nothing but cigarette butts and snack residue on my. I'm just like, nigga.
It was
And then
already
it's
10 cigarettes.
And then it's a small bottle of Totino's vodka, and I'm like,
I
nigga.
just got over here.
And so I'm sitting here just. Of course, he didn't know that I was coming home or whatever. So I'm just like, well, God must want me to drink. I go back to the sauce, and but I tell this story to tell this story.
Yeah.
So this is just to tell you the unique person that Teddy is.
Yeah.
So that's that story, right? I was pissed off at it. We didn't talk for like a month, whatever. But then fast forward to last year when I was going through one of my toughest times dealing with alcohol, blah, 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 all that stuff. Teddy was the one nigga that was coming to my house, banging on my door, making sure I was good. So that's why I love that nigga so much, because even though he pisses me off as a little brother, like, nigga drove the car, like, whatever, I'll get over that. But he's always there to make sure I'm good. And even though I'm like a big brother to him, sometimes he's a big brother to me, like when I need him. Because last year, bro, it was some tough times, some dark times for me. So him just pulling up and kind of just being there for me, that just shows you the dichotomy of what Teddy is to me. He's like, he can piss you off, but he can also be there to help save your life and keep you sober.
Let me tell you something, man. Teddy's amazing. These are facts. I've always been a fan of Teddy Ray. But Doughboy, let me tell you why he had so many questions when you called him from this rated rehab. It's always some shit with you, Doughboy.
It's always some shit.
Always.
You're without the addict side, you are Eddie King from 5 Heartbeats. It's always something. So it's like, huh? Like, your life is full of so many adventures that can only happen to you.
Oh, yeah.
That you're like, no. You're like, yeah, man, I literally got into a fight with Denzel, but listen what he said. You're like, huh? Like, that's your life. So I'm not shocked at any of those things. What ended up happening with the Armenian in the car?
Well, his dude's name was Ralph. He was always super cool. Like, he kept it cool after that. I told him what happened. So he ended up getting me a different car after that. And I kept paying $300. And then once I just realized, hey, I've been paying this guy $300 a month for the past 4 years for really old vehicles. And I don't own anything about the vehicles.
You could have just bought your
So
car.
I just went and ended up buying a car. And so, so I learned. So because of Teddy, I learned that I deserve better. And I stopped going to Shifty Ralph.
Doughboy, you're also the guy. Hey, Teddy, do you remember he bought that car? He bought the car that only went in reverse?
No, it didn't go in reverse.
Oh, it didn't go in reverse.
I took
so
it as
you
an
couldn't
omen.
back up.
I took it as an omen from God. I
To
felt like he
never
didn't
go
want.
backwards?
Yeah, I feel like he didn't want me going backwards in my life. He only wanted me to go forward.
Wow.
No, but see, that was the whole thing. I got the car.
How did you park?
Nigga, you creatively. You only park where you can just go straight out. It'll make you get really creative about things. Parallel parking, a thing of the past.
Then you got it repossessed.
Okay, let's just tell the story. What happened?
Please.
First of all, the place I got it called was something wild, like
No, it was called L.A. Repo.
L.A. Repo. L.A. Repo. That's the place I got the car from.
And I said, why would you buy a car?
I get the car, and basically dude's telling me, he's like, they told me straight up, like, hey, man, it doesn't really work. Like, basically, it doesn't really work, but don't even worry. Just, so I kind of knew going into it, the car did not go into reverse, but for whatever reason, we take the car,
You didn't
whatever.
think that was a valuable
I didn't. Whatever. It just was what it was. So then, a couple time goes by, whatever, and so then the warranty kicks in. That's what's so stupid with the warranty. I don't want to get anybody indicted here, but so he basically has a warranty on it. So then I take the car back, and then boom. So then they ended up fixing it, but for like the 3 weeks in between, I just couldn't go backwards. But I figured it was just gonna be like just go forward in life. But the messed up part was by the time they fixed it, so I stopped making the payments because that's just what I do when it comes to car notes. I stopped making the payments or whatever. And so I thought, because you remember where I used to live over on Riverton, there was a gate. I figured the rules were they couldn't repossess your car if they had to go over a gate. These niggas said, fuck a gate. They went in there and repoed my car and took it from me. And it was fully functioning and working going forward at the time.
Do you think you're the first person to not pay for a car and the repo man has to hop a gate?
I thought that they couldn't do that. I thought that just made it to where I was
Repo
safe.
man get that shit by any means.
They call him the repo man. He's a hero.
He's a bounty hunter of vehicles.
Yes. I didn't know that. I thought I could do the dash.
The only weakness he has is bullets, and he has his own gun.
And then they came and took the car. So then basically I had the car for like a month and a half, 2 months. And then it wouldn't go in reverse at first, and then it went forward. And then they drove it forward out and we had reverse and everything in it. So
Wow.
Teddy, here's the question that we have today. Doughboy says he found an article. This woman says that if she finds out a man ain't packing, she will cheat. How do you feel about this, brother?
one of the city girls said that.
Which one? JT?
I don't know which one. The one that's with Southside. Shout out to Southside.
Oh no, Carisha. Damn, Young Miami. She just got mad that everybody calling her Carisha. Because I got a crush on JT. I mean, to each his own, you know.
You don't feel like that's shallow?
To each his own. You know, sometimes people is just shallow, and that's just what it is.
Listen, she knew what
If
she
she
was
want to
getting
feel
into.
that power
Listen,
and that pack and that punch,
I take a very personal offense to this, and let me tell you why.
Oh,
you got
well,
a-
let's hear it.
Absolutely.
you got a
Because
small wiener.
no, first of all, so this is the thing. I grew up dating predominantly black women. Never.
Okay.
My first girlfriend was Mexican, but after that it was all black women. Black women gave me a complex about my dick size very early in life. I was overweight,
Okay.
and they just made me feel like if I didn't have at least 9, I wasn't shining in these streets. Like that's just what they made me feel.
Okay.
That was the metric system, and I didn't have 9. You know what I'm saying? I just was like, okay. So, and you know what I'm saying? It was just messed up because I was overweight too.
Yeah.
And so then as I got bigger, my dick got smaller. It just happened.
Yeah.
And so I didn't end up, the dick that I had, I ended up getting
Could
more.
you please come up with another name for this? I'm not about to have this video yellow. Keep
Huh?
going.
Okay. So elephant trunk. Is
There
that the
we
word?
go. All
Okay.
right, let's use it.
So I was just under the impression the whole time that if I didn't have enough, that I just wasn't shit. And so
Yeah.
then I ended up ballooning up to 486 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Now, no matter how big my elephant trunk was at the time, it looked smaller proportioned over a 480-pound body. So now, like, you know, my elephant trunk is fine. You know
First of
what
all,
I'm
stop saying it so condescendingly.
Elephant
like it's
trunk.
You know what I mean? My-
He's trying to
you know,
grow it with the words.
So,
My elephant trunk.
so my biggest thing is I think that's because basically the context of the question was if a dude is dating you, he's taking you out, he's treating you good, he's
Okay.
makes good money, respectable guy, all these good things, and then by the time it's time to have sex, you find out he's not packing at all. He's not in your size. She said that she would cheat on him. I just feel like it's so unfair because a lot of good women are missing out on a lot of good dudes just because you feel like his elephant trunk ain't big enough.
You got one more time.
Ain't big enough. I just think it's trash. I think it's a terrible precedent to state because when you think about it, as men, we don't have any control over it. It's just you get what you get, and then like you go to the store and pick one out. So it's like I think the other things that are important that you can basically have like control over is your work ethic, how you operate as a person, all these different
Because
things.
that makes a woman climax. Let me hit you with this.
Right. And that's what they be doing. They be getting the Jaguars with the Bentleys. All of this stuff. They be like, that's tiny
man.
So
Yeah.
y'all agree with this? So if you
Listen, dope boy, I want to first apologize for whatever woman has hurt you. I think we should start there. Second, I want to apologize for you not being gifted in that department.
I'm not saying I'm not gifted. I'm
Listen,
cool.
man,
I'm cool.
I just understand.
I had a porno star tell me
That-
I had a perfect size elephant trunk. I had a porno star tell me that.
Perfect just made us comfortable.
That she told me. She said big was overrated. She said guys think that girls want a real big one. She was like, no, it hurts. It's painful.
If a
Yours
woman
is perfect
says
size.
that-
It gets the job done. What
if
is?
a woman says
Don't
that,
say it. I don't need my ego crushed. I don't
You're
need
right.
to hear it.
You're right. So
Let
I'm
me
gonna
live with the
finish
lie.
with saying this. She's already made her decision going into it. So for her to cheat on you is unfortunate, you know, but this is reality that you face unless you're going to give her what she needs in another department.
And y'all don't see no problem with that.
Well, I'll put it like this.
I just feel like it's unfortunate.
Go ahead, Teddy. Say it, man.
Bruh, they used to kill babies that had lazy eyes and Down syndrome and all kind of other stuff. I don't know if it's a bad thing.
Dark fast.
Yeah,
It
that
got
did
really
get
dark.
dark.
I didn't expect that.
Oh, you got 2 inches. Thank you.
Bro, it's
But
like this.
y'all think I just feel like it's unfair because that's something that a dude can't even control.
Yeah, but here's the thing, man.
And I feel like I got shitted on by a lot of women because of that. And I
If
feel like
you
that sucks.
can't come to the table with the size for her, then you got to go ahead and eat that box. You understand me? And
I ain't
I'll
no
just
problem
say,
with that, but
I've never had to just eat the box, so I can't.
I just feel like Swole Cole, chime in on this. You don't feel like this is
Trying
a
to bring him into
terrible.
it.
You don't feel like this is a terrible. And
Let
I'm
me
not
tell y'all why
and
he's
let-
bringing Cole
No,
into
let
it.
me just say this.
Cole, you're
I don't want to
disrespectful.
come on. No, I'm not.
because you know Cole is white, and
No,
you think
because y'all ain't agreeing with
you
me.
think Cole.
And I don't want this to come off like
Cole
I got
might
a
surprise
small
you.
elephant trunk. I don't.
Well,
I'm,
you
I'm
already-
an average size, I think. I don't know.
You're giving too much energy
It's
to it.
unfair.
Cole,
You got veins popping out your neck.
yes, we already know you pressure right now. Cole, Hella pause.
Do you feel like that's a stupid thing for women to be like discounting guys just because of their pecker size?
What did you call it?
Pecker size. I got sick and said elephant size.
We back to the 70s.
With the fact. Listen, man.
So how do you feel about that?
It just don't make sense that she was like, I'm gonna cheat on him. It's like, just talk to him or don't be with him.
That
But if
part.
he's or talk about the fact you're gonna find somebody else who does have a bigger.
Cole, have you ever run into a problem where a lady has been unsatisfied with what you brought? Exactly. And that's why you asked him, because you thought he was going to be on your side.
No, I feel like
And
it's,
he's not.
I feel like
Cole's
it's
face had me dying. He was like,
I just,
I don't recall.
I don't recall.
other guy whose name I don't know. Back me up on this. Have you ever had a situation where, at least, are you saying that you would at least agree that that's
No,
a
you're
stupid?
just ask the question that we just. Have you,
Do you feel
shown
like-
up to a situation with a young lady and she hasn't been happy with what you brought to the table?
All my girlfriends were scared by anything above like 7, so they thought I was perfectly adequate for the job.
Wow.
Scared of anything above 7.
It looks like
So I guess I'm just
Doughboy's
in the minority.
minority.
Okay. This has been another great episode of the Justice.
We
No,
got
boy, you had hella hips too back in the day.
I still have them.
But it was worse.
You know the funny thing about Doughboy Teddy? I used to always laugh about this. Y'all would always get into this who's bigger roast thing.
That's how we started.
Yeah, you literally, but Doughboy is always the pot calling the kettle. You always roasted people who had the same issue you had.
That's a Jedi mind
You'd
trick.
be like, yeah, man, look at this fat mother. And it's like, boy, what are you doing? He's like, what? Look at him, chocolate hip cookies. It's like,
Chocolate.
Doughboy.
That's the Jedi mind trick. You just use it against the other person.
Before they can use it on you. Here's
Absolutely.
what you don't realize. Two big guys don't call each other big. They roast other things.
It's sacrilegious. It should happen.
But we did it and made magic.
Magic. You know my favorite? This is my favorite Doughboy and Teddy joint. Y'all were outside. Y'all did like 6 or 10 of these. Y'all were outside of the ADD office, outside in the street, and they had the camera rolling around y'all, and you would rap, you'd be beating on your chest, and then Teddy was sing. I'm like, man, these are fun. I would love to see y'all do another one.
I don't. And both of us erased all of them.
Why?
We did.
I don't know. I don't have them nowhere.
Ah, it's ridiculous.
We had something there, man. We got to bring back a hip hop duo, man.
I'm with it. I just felt like at the time
Say it.
we had a moment where it was going good, and then Doughboy kind of got lazy with the ideas. He was like, "Man, I'm just gonna beat on my chest at the table, and then fuck it. You say what you gonna say, all right?" And then like it went from being fun and creative to just
Yeah.
like, "All right, we gonna bang out 30 of them," and I was just like,
We
"Duh."
talk about dumb shit.
Right, like we kind of had a theme going with each like little one. We'll find out, little.
I've been telling Teddy, man, I want to EP his album. You know, Teddy can sing and you can sing. I want to EP both of you guys' albums.
Here's your problem.
I ain't got a problem, nigga.
You always, like you said on last week's episode, you got the best ideas, but your follow
No.
through.
You had. I want to damn
Is
near
more
pull up this
suspect
text,
than
but I know that
Orenthal
we've been here
Jack-
so long. But I had text you something. I had text you hella
Orenthal
ideas for
Simpson.
something. Remember, I had text you hella stuff. I was like, man, we need to do with this,
Yeah.
this, and this, and this. I was like, album and this and this and this. You're like, all right, Doughboy, but can we finish the 2 movies you said that you would write?
Man, let's finish that. Because
I'm just
I'm this guy.
ambitious.
I'm an itemizer, bro. I will say, okay, we're going to do this. Let's do it. And then you'd be like, all right, cool. But before we get to that, I'm like, no. Let's do this.
Right.
Then we do all the other stuff.
I got to get it together, man. I'm figuring it out. But this has been a great episode for us.
Teddy, what you got coming up? We got to get out of here, man.
Yes.
Talk to the people.
Yeah, just a whole lot of, just positivity in my life, just spreading love. I got a couple things I booked, but my lawyer talking to people right now. So I'm not finna discuss it.
I understand.
you know.
Don't count them until they hatch, man.
Right, because they told me a number, but I've been told numbers a lot, so
Yeah.
I don't believe
Until you in that
till
trailer.
squid happens, I was
When
trying
you
to
in that
bleep my
trailer,
cousin.
I appreciate you. I mean, we way too far for that. But y'all been cussing up a storm. But
I've been trying. I'm out
You
first.
were.
Yeah.
you were.
No, you be here every week.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
do.
don't be out of control.
My bad.
Teddy, you are a star. I've always told you this. You already
Yeah.
know this. You are hilarious. You're legendary. The people love you. Double cheeked up on a
On a
Thursday
Tu-
afternoon. Is it Tuesday? I thought it was Thursday.
Thursday.
Double cheeked up on a Thursday
Iconic.
afternoon is, oh my God. Like when I knew you had reached a level when I saw people in other countries reposting that. And I'm like, this isn't even in English, and they reposted this. You're loved, man. So we had to have you come through. Doughboy,
Yes,
what do you want
man.
to say?
Yes, man. Thank you, Teddy, for coming through, man. We got a lot of stuff
thank
that
y'all
we're
for
working
having
on.
me. I appreciate both of y'all. I
For
love
sure,
both
man.
of y'all brothers.
It's always
You're the
fun
best,
linking
Y'all
up with
both
you,
mean
man.
a lot to my career, so
Likewise,
this is
brother.
a fun podcast to be on.
We're gonna
sure,
have you
man.
back, man.
Definitely got to.
We had to make up because I was like, let's give him an hour.
Yes,
'cause
and
brought him in.
so shout out. So y'all hop in the comments. Let us know. Did y'all like the longer episode? We might start, playing with some things and maybe see what we got. But
this felt organic.
It did. It felt good. I am sweating a little bit, but
Well,
I'm
it's
good.
hot in here. The door
It
is
is
closed.
a little
So extra people.
Absolutely. I have been Doughboy.
I am CT, and I wasn't talking about Teddy. I was talking about literally we got another engineer and we got Teddy.
Nah, you were saying
no,
me.
I was not.
I know I'm built
You
like
are-
a double wide. You feel me? I got extra back for no reason.
Extra back.
I'm blocking a fan or something. Some kind of air circulation.
Everybody on the Patreon, thank
Yes.
you for showing the love. They want to know when we're doing the battle.
Yes, we're supposed to do Kanye. We've missed this twice. You want to do it next Friday?
Next Friday is my birthday weekend. That's my mama's gonna be here.
Let's do it the following weekend.
All right, cool.
The 5th.
That's my anniversary weekend. You know
And
what?
then
Let's
your
do
gir-
it that because we're recording earlier.
Okay.
So if we recording earlier, I think next upcoming week, then we'll do it.
We'll do it at some point in May. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
We'll get it done. And get your favorite 20 because you're going to get washed. Drake is the GOAT.
You couldn't wash me if you had soap
we
and
did-
water,
we
bro.
missed a bunch of stuff we were supposed to talk
Let me
about,
tell
but
you
we'll
something.
talk
That is
about
the fifth punchline you done stepped on.
Dang it, I
today.
did it again.
When I tell you, listen, man,
I missed your punchline.
I don't be stepping on none of your shit, bro.
I stepped on it.
You
I'm
be
sorry.
stepping on it, bro.
I'm
You the
sorry.
waffle stomper.
Well, sorry. My bad. I'll get it back together next week. This has been another episode of Just Us League Podcast. Peace.